with me, Maria Shakil. The railway disaster in Balasore in Odisha has sent shockwaves across the country. Over 270 people have been killed and over 1,000 have been injured in this horrific three-train collision which took place on Friday evening. To be specific and exact, it was 6:55. The railway minister has been on ground since Saturday overseeing the rescue and clearance operations. The Prime Minister was also on the ground overseeing the coordination of all agencies to ensure there are no roadblocks. While restoration work is moving swiftly, the lens is on the electronic interlocking system, which seems to have malfunctioned. On Sunday, the Railways Minister called for a CBI investigation to get to the root of the cause of this mishap. The current system in place is to manage the movement of trains is essentially an automatic train movement system. Beyond the politics surrounding this disaster, it points to possible human intervention or sabotage which caused the glitch in this system. So let me give you an overview of the electronic interlocking system, which is being seen as the reason for this accident, or a possible reason, although the Commissioner of Railway Safety is inquiring in this accident. The electronic interlocking system is essentially considered the most modern in the railway sector. Several countries have gone ahead and implemented it. The system is expected to be reliable, it is robust and also fail-safe. It is fail-proof almost. The interlocking system is a software-based logic system. So it actually looks at various trains, their movement, and then ensures the movement of train on a particular track. The system follows a command chain to manage the signaling system. So what really happened on Friday? What is the standard operating procedure and what could have gone wrong? If a train must be set to a different track, the signal cannot be green. So if the train is going for an up track or a downlink, it cannot get a green. If it is supposed to go on downlink, it gets a green in the uplink. If a point is set in reverse direction, the signal has to be yellow or red. Stop. Wait. The goods train was taken into the up loop and then set in the reverse for the diversion. So there was that confusion that was caused, allegedly. The Coromandel Express was coming in the same direction. It is the Coromandel Express which derailed, which led to these chain of events, unfortunate ones certainly. And the express was to pass through the up main and the green signal was given. And as per the station display, both the distant signal and home signal were green. Why was it green? That is the question. Was it done on purpose? That's a subject of inquiry. The express was diverted and it entered the up loop line. The express, that is the Coromandel Express, then smashed head-on into the stationary goods train. So it caused derailment, and then because the Coromandel Express was, speeding, that is the reason why it had an impact on other tracks, including the train which had almost left the station, which was Yeshwantpur train. So why is the human error angle under the scanner? Remember, the signaling system is operated from a station building and it is operated by a station manager or assistant station manager. And the station manager's function is limited to managing operations. The automated logic system for train management is run from a relay room. And once the logic system is set and tested, the relay room is under lock and key. So once it is fed by the station manager, it cannot be changed and should not be changed by anyone else, because there are a lot of sensitivities and lives that are involved here. The relay room cannot be opened without approval and multiple keys. In fact, the room is opened only if a problem with the system is noticed. So after it is fed, the system operates on its own, and only when station manager sees some kind of changes or some kind of problem that he comes in and ensures correction. The opening of the relay room for operations on 2nd June is ruled out. Now, what exactly is a relay room? Kamalika Sen Gupta, was outside the relay room at the Bahanagar Bazaar railway station, and she has filed this report.
We are standing outside the station, and this is the relay room of the station, which is very vital because this is the room where automatic logic system, software automatic logic system, that is here, so that is tested and that is placed here. Generally, under no circumstances this room is opened, and you can see that there are two actually keys, multiple keys, and this is like, we can compare it to the this is absolutely locked, and this can be compared with the locker of a bank where there are two keys, and the sensitivity, the amount of confidentiality there in a locker is the same type of precious and important, is this room, because this room, in this room, that automated software, automatic logic system is placed, and generally there is no chance of doing something with it.
And breaking news coming in now. The Railways Ministry has now issued an order to all zonal railways, that the signalling equipment within station limits should be checked and given double locks. Data logging and generation of SMS alerts for the opening and closing of the door of these relay rooms should be ensured. This raises the big question, was the system checked properly at the Bahanagar Bazaar railway station? Akash is joining me live. Akash, so if this kind of instruction has been issued to all zonal railways, are we to believe that the railway is looking at prima facie a possible sabotage which could have happened through this relay room?
Maria, first of all, Railways hasn't ruled out the possibility of sabotage. So they are, as of now, inquiring and investigating the particular incident from all the angles. In fact, now the CBI probe has been recommended, and CBI will also, probe into the particular accident. Also, as far as this order is concerned, Maria, so, Railway Board has issued this particular order, and it is for all zonal railways. And what this order is saying, this order is basically talking about the signaling equipment within the station limits, and also about the double locking arrangements. When we talk about relay rooms, Maria, so relay rooms are the sensitive, property. It comes under S&T department of railways, but, the station master has an access to the relay rooms, and there is a mechanism where, if station master is entering into that room, there is a log register where, system is such that if a person is going, then the second person will be, locking it up. And if the second person is locking it up or opening it up, then the first person will be, doing the opposite process. So relay room is a sensitive property, but this particular order is saying that relay rooms in the stations should be checked and ensured for proper working of double locking arrangement. And it should also be checked and ensured that there is data logging, generation of SMS alert. Now, till now, in fact, in the railways, we have the log maintained for, every process. For example, who is going in that relay room, at what time he has entered, and at what time he's coming out. But now, this order is also suggesting for an SMS alert and digital data logging. Also, Maria, you see, this is a safety drive that has been ordered throughout Indian Railways, and 7 days time has been given, where, it has been, in fact, I'll wrap it up. In fact, it has been said that during this safety drive, these items should be checked at 100% of the locations, and 10% of these locations will be supervised.
You have made a very important point here, Akash, which is essentially digital locking system is what now the railways is looking at, not just manual locks, which are usually put, a possible digital locking, so that these relay rooms are thoroughly protected. Akash, really appreciate your time. The disaster now raises some big questions. Was there an error in the electronic signaling system? Was it a technical or system failure that caused this crash? was human intervention or manipulation behind this crash? Because now that the instructions have been issued that the relay rooms must have a digital locking system, is this an indication by the railways that there is a possibility of some kind of manipulation to the signalling system? And has the CBI been roped in to probe criminal negligence? Why CBI is looking into it? Why not the NIA in the last investigation that we saw with regards to the Kanpur railway accident? Now, another piece of breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has accessed the FIR in connection to the train accident. The FIR cites that the culpability of specific railway employees is not ascertained, which will be unearthed during the investigation. So, prima facie, Kamalika, it's being said that who is this railway employee, whether there is a human error, that has not been mentioned, and hence it's not an FIR against an individual.
Clearly it is written, Maria, that it is against unknown. The FIR has been lodged against unknown, and the Act, if you see, the Act said 337, 338, 304A. So there in all these sections are put on negligence. You know, if you put together, then it's negligence. So the negligence part, whether it's a human error or human intervention, this is now the grey area. So this FIR has been generated, the GRP FIR. This clearly now is not saying about involvement of any railway person, but at the same time, it is denying also the involvement. It is now lodged against an unknown person.
Yes. So, FIR lodged against an unknown, but the sections that we are looking at is 337, 338, 304A, 34, 153, 154 and 175. Yashwardhan Azad, former IPS officer, is joining us live. We also have M.Y. Siddiqui, Alok Kumar Verma, ex-officer of Indian Railways. Shiv Gopal Mishra is General Secretary, All India Railways Men Federation. Yashwardhan Azad, let's go through the FIR first and these sections.
You see, I'm extremely confused, Maria. You have already explained that the electronic, that interlocking system, something has happened to that, and that's why it went on the track. It shouldn't have gone and, crashed against the goods train. Everything is absolutely automated. But as you see, every part of the world, there are software glitches. And Railway Ministry says, the Railway Board says that they have identified the problem and it came from the relay room or whenever it comes. I have a very serious doubt that why is this being lumped onto the CBI? I mean, this is a systemic or a technical error. The CAG report says that 75% of the accidents are caused by the derailment. So now, in none of these derailment cases, any kind of police action was done because nobody was killed. But if this crash has taken place, and we suspect who? We suspect Naxalites, we suspect somebody else, or we suspect somebody to go inside the room and do it. I'm not too sure about that. I'm sure that a technical inquiry by the Railway Board experts would have found the solution and would have found the reason why it was not locked, because it is completely under the Railways domain.
Okay.
So now that it's been to CBI again, the second part, my final
but
comment.
when was the last time a railways accident was handed over to the CBI? When has it ever happened?
I really don't know. I mean, I don't recall anything. If there is anything, a Naxalite attack, and anybody will use a standoff weapon, they place a bomb on the tracks and take it down and then, bust it. Why would they go inside and take such a huge risk?
Okay.
So and then again, the FIR which is there it talks about negligence.
So all these sections, Yashwardhan Azad, 337, 338, 304A, 34, 153, 154, 175?
Yeah.
All these are related to negligence?
Yeah.
Okay. Alok Verma, come in on this. As a former railways employee who understands systems, and I've gone through your article as well, Mr. Verma, prima facie, is this sabotage or signalling error? Or signalling error which has been caused by a human?
You see, Commissioner of Railway Safety is the statutory authority
Yes.
to conduct investigations and find the cause. So I think we should leave it to the Commissioner of Railway Safety to find the exact cause, whether it was sabotage or whether it was human failure, machine failure, whatever it is. I think it is we should leave it to the Commissioner of Railway Safety to conduct a thorough, fair and proper investigation. If the Commissioner of Railway Safety says that there is possibility of sabotage, then you can launch a separate investigation can be launched.
Yes.
But primarily, the inquiry should be done by
the Commissioner of Railway Safety. Yes. Shiv Gopal Mishra ji, you know, I have often interacted with you in the past. आपसे कितनी बार हमेशा चर्चा होती थी रेलवे एम्प्लॉइज के कंसर्न्स पर. यहाँ पर जो शिव गोपाल जी दिख रहा है कि ना ड्राइवर पे ब्लेम किया गया है, ना ही लाइनमैन पे ब्लेम किया गया है, ना ही ट्रैकमैन पे ब्लेम किया गया है. If you look at the FIR, prima facie, it says that none of the railway employees may be responsible for what happened. Who killed really those 275? Because this death is the biggest which has happened in 2 decades. So my question is, जो relay room होता है, it is about the station manager and his assistant station manager who are responsible for operating of the signals. Is there a possibility that somebody else can get access to those keys? And especially in that zone that we are looking at. Odisha में 175 kilometers away from Bhubaneswar, 200 kilometers away from Kharagpur. Shiv Gopal ji.
Maria, I 100% agree with you that in this accident, though it's a very vital accident, we are all very sad. But as you said that the railwayman has not been blamed for it.
Yes.
But as has been said by particularly our Yashovardhan sir, that a thorough inquiry by the technical people is essential. And the inquiry which is statutory by the, as our Alok Verma has said, that that is already on. Whatsoever is being done here, the relay room is a part of sometime with the station manager's room, sometime it is away from there. But there is a double lock. Only one person cannot go and open the relay room. So, if he wants to open the relay room, he has to take permission from the station master, and station master will give him a key, then only he can open the relay room. So, there is no possibility that the relay room was opened by any employee or any mischief have been made over there, or by mistake it has been made. Though inquiry will be there.
Yes.
And
yes, because
sure
in most of the railway accidents, we have seen, in fact, in over 50%, it has been about human error. The driver has been blamed for it. You know, sometimes driver slept over it because, you know, that has happened, Shiv Gopal ji, in the past, all that has happened. Yes.
Maria, I beg to excuse, these are all misnomers, have been flown by the sometime administration, sometime by inquiry committees.
Okay, Mr. Siddiqui, the Indian Railway has seen a visible improvement on various parameters. If we were to look at the signalling system, the amount of money that has been spent for massive electrification drive in the recent years, it has actually yielded result with 90% of the routes being thoroughly electrified. But yet an accident happens, and at a scale where there are 3 trains which are involved. One is derailment, which is Coromandel Express, which leads to a chain of events in which 2 other trains, one is another goods train and then another train, all of them get involved, and then the number of the number of those who have been killed increases. So my question is, despite all the efforts, where do you think what you think went wrong?
Well, I mean, the situation has to be read in the context of the recent CAG report.
Yes.
Plus the Parliamentary Standing Committee report. All speak volume of low allocation on maintenance, security, etc. So it is a criminal negligence by railways, because on two counts. The first is low allocation for maintenance. The second is whatever has been budgetary allocation that has not been fully spent. So all these are clearly spoken by CAG report, and the Parliamentary Standing Committee, which is manned overwhelmingly by BJP, they have also raised their alarm. So these two, and the way the ministry, the government and other railway officials, including ministers, are pointing out mistakes, all point out to their design, calculated design, to shift the blame on some scapegoat, for which they have referred to CBI, which is essentially an outfit.
Here, which is about how the overall percentage of expenditure basically on safety-related works has gone up by 2.5x.
Yes.
Alok Verma, 70,274 spent between 2004, 2005 to 2013-14, and now that has jumped to 1,78,000. So the amount of money which is being spent on safety-related measures is high, but still Kavach, which is, that is lots being talked about it, and had there been a Kavach, which is an indigenously developed automatic train protection system, then it could have been avoided. What is this Kavach that we keep talking about? Something that was introduced and approved in 2012, but it has not been implemented till now. And Mr. Vaishnav had inspected the trial of the Kavach working system in the division of South Central Railways in March. So why has Kavach not been implemented, which is the automatic train protection system? And this is something that we keep talking about. The only difference being, Alok Verma ji, since I've covered railways and we are interacting after a long time, the last time such a conversation happened was during the UPA, because train accidents used to happen frequently. Now it has happened after 9 years of this government, but because of the measures that have been taken for safety, security of the movement of the trains, still it is being raised. Why do you think the automatic trains protection system was not implemented? And what exactly has gone wrong here?
You see, there are a range of situations which cause accidents. This Kavach system is designed to cater to only one of these several issues. The Kavach will help only to prevent accidents when two trains are running on the same track. Only in that case. Even if Kavach was here installed in this section where this accident has stricken, my opinion is that it would not have prevented these collisions, neither the first collision nor the second collision. You see, first collision happened because the train went to the loop line, whereas the path was shown for through running. It was supposed not to stop here and go right through the station to the next one. So the train is going on a loop line. Suddenly, abruptly he finds that the route has been set for the loop line, so this could not have been covered by Kavach. Now the second collision, there also it is not a case of two trains approaching each other in opposite direction. Here there is an obstruction. This obstruction has been caused by the derailed coaches of Coromandel Express. Okay, so even the second collision would not have been prevented by Kavach. So Kavach would not have prevented this accident. And I would like to say one thing here.
If Kavach would not have prevented this, one moment. Alok ji, I want to understand from you. If Kavach could not have prevented this, and And there are multiple derailments which happen. Causes of derailment are many. What has been done in the last 7-8 years that those causes of derailment have been minimized? And that is the reason why when you have an accident, it is of this scale.
Let's look at the bigger picture here,
Yes.
You see, as I have written in my article yesterday also,
Yes.
India has one of the worst records of safety. Even though our trains are among the slowest. I mean, whether you compare with Europe or Japan or even China, our trains are very slow. Still, such disastrous accidents keep happening, I mean, you have this accident of Pokhraya in 2016 when 150 people died near Kanpur. Then you had the accident at Khatoli where about 20 plus people died. Then, of course, 2 years, there almost no train operations because of COVID. So you see, even in just last 10 years, there have been disastrous accidents. At least 3 I can remember immediately. So we should focus on this, why we have such a bad safety record. And in my view, the root cause is congestion on Indian railway routes, particularly the trunk routes. The accident where this Coromandel Express has met with this disastrous accident is also one of the important trunk routes of Indian Railway connecting Howrah and Chennai. Now this congestion has, affects many things, You see, because of congestion, you are not able to run sufficient number of trains. So overcrowding of trains happens. In this case, Coromandel is notorious for overcrowding. So many deaths have happened because the coaches were overcrowded. There were a lot of people could not have even escaped from there, if they are so heavily crowded, Now, when you have congestion, the trains are not able to keep to their path. In this case, the train coming from Yashwantpuram, which hit against Coromandel, was running 2 hours late. So, you see, railway operations requires precision in working. You have to follow strictly a timetable because there is a train running every 7 to 10 minutes in each direction. So if you have trains running, then you are not able to give enough time for maintenance of track.
So Yashwantpuram is running 2 hours late.
They have to work overtime.
So here is a train which is running 2 hours late.
Yeah,
it comes on the up line. It comes on the up line, and most of his bogies have passed. It is only in the last 1.5 bogie that which actually rams into the remaining part post the derailment of the Coromandel Express. So that is what has happened. That is why, Shiv Gopalji, come in here.
So you see exactly,
track renewal, because one thought has always been about tracks, because the tracks have to be renewed regularly because of the speed at which these trains are moving. The overall collisions have stopped, the derailments have fallen, the number of percentage of derailments have fallen. But track renewal, if you look at it, has also, which is very paramount for ensuring safety of railways, the amount of money that has been spent on it is high. So what is it about this particular area? Let's focus on this area that makes a possible, that is giving railways and the Commissioner of Railway Safety and others a view that they are having this view that there is a possibility of a sabotage. About this area, what is it about this area then? Shiv Gopal ji.
Maria.
Ji.
Maria, you have raised a very valid question. Because without the track safety, nothing can be run smoothly on the Indian Railways. But I would like to tell you that during the last few years, a large number of money have been spent on the signaling equipments for increasing the speed. They have improved the our route. They have the track maintenance also they have improved, and lot of money they have invested. This year budget they have allotted 2,55,000, which is much more than that. The problem is not that. Problem is that we have to decide what should be our priority. Our priority should be the train speed. our priority should be the station development, our priority should be the other, Vande Bharat, our priority should be, to my mind, should be the safety of the railways. So safety equipment, the rail track maintenance, maybe the loco and coaches maintenance, these are having much more importance, and the signaling equipments have been latest nowadays. But nobody can say that there cannot be a failure. Failure is obvious, there can be a failure. But nobody can say there cannot be a sabotage in this case. So that is also there. So I can say that though there is a constraints, but at the same time,
but Mr. Mishra,
number of money has been,
and in the recent times, there has been state-of-art electronic system which has been put in the Indian Railways. There has been massive electrification which has happened. Overall, Yashwardhan Azad, you cannot deny that the response system in this accident has been very high. There has been swift action that has to be lauded. Although, you know, we'll continue to ask questions. Could we have saved these 275 people? But the swift action which happened, the movement of the relief train, the movement of the emergency medical vans, all that has happened. Now the question is, what caused it? That's the subject of investigation. When we do not know the cause of accident, Yashwardhan Azad, then whose negligence are we talking about in the FIR?
There are 3 points I want to make, Maria.
Yes.
First, I totally agree with you. The response has been very, very effective, and the minister himself has been supervising all the arrangements, and almost everything from the army to the paramilitary, everyone has been organized in the rescue operations. And I personally know the Odisha officers who did a great job in the initial crisis period when they were doing these rescue operations. Number two, you know, my main point, and it was said by Mr. Verma, that Yeshwanthpur Express was running 2 hours late. So did a saboteur know at that particular time that we're running 2 hours late? So what was it's a glitch in the software or what a systemic failure which led Coromandel Express to go onto the loop line, which it shouldn't have gone. For causing that, does one take such a huge risk of getting inside that digital rock room or that relay room? It's not required. The different sabotage, there are so many various ways we could...
you just remove the fish plate. That has happened in the past.
Yeah, and thirdly, the most important point, I'm very happy, it was told by Mr. Mishra ji ne kaha tha, that yes, it is the Railway Safety Commissioner who has to do a thorough inquiry with his technical experts and then see whether there could be a sabotage involved. And the fourth point, which Mr. Verma mentioned, and I have always been hitting at it, the congestion in the routes is too much.
Yes,
and
for all the talks of dedicated freight corridor, what happens to that? Where is the dedicated freight corridor, Mr. Verma?
You see, dedicated freight corridor has been a disaster for Indian Railways. I remember it was 2005 that it was railway claimed that we will utilize rapid construction methods and complete this line in 3 years, 3 years, 4 years. I was talking to member engineering of that time, he was saying how they are planning to complete in 3 years. Now from 2005 we are in 2023 and none of them is complete yet. Both these are incomplete. So you see, and what is even worse is, why did Indian Railway not add new lines on other routes? Okay, you were waiting for DFC on these 2 routes, Delhi to Howrah, Delhi to Mumbai. Why did you not add new lines on Howrah, Mumbai, Chennai, where this accident has taken place? Why not on Howrah, Mumbai, which is another heavily congested route?
Okay.
Similarly, GT route, this is also heavily congested.
Okay.
Why did we not add new lines?
Okay.
You see, I have given you data.
Yes.
How the other railways have, expanded their network,
yes,
added capacity on their network.
Yes. But because of the sheer...
This DFC has been a...
Yes. We keep talking about DFC and I think that's a need of investigation again. Because if you look at the CAG report and whether we'll be able to ever get to know what really caused this accident, Yashwardhan Azad, 63% cases, the inquiry reports were not submitted to the authority within the prescribed timelines, and 49% cases, there was a delay in accepting the report. So whether we'll ever know what caused this death of 275 people, I'm not too sure about it. So let's wait and see how things happen. Yashwardhan Azad, Mr. Siddiqui, Alok Kumar Verma and Shiv Gopal Mishra, thank you so much. Shifting